Whether you like it or not, I love the hateful
Yeah.
comments. Please bring them.
Absolutely.
Somebody kill me about my hairline. I'm like, I'm at my age. I still have hair,
Right.
Playboy.
You
I
can
ain't
still
got
grow
it.
hair. That's it.
I don't
That's
care about
incredible.
what you have to say.
Right.
Still, this is all my hair. All right, guys. And it's another episode of the Beat the Best podcast. It's me, your host, BetaMax84, with my co-host Sean Watkins. In the
I love how I adopted
building.
the Muhammad name. I love it.
Hey, it's great. It's great to
likewise,
see your
brother,
face.
Likewise, always pleasure to get on here. I look forward to these once a week, and like I said, it's fantastic, man. Chop it up with my brother. We do this anyway, but yeah.
We do this anyway, which I'm glad you said. You're always the tee off for these lead-ins. Today we're going to have a lot to talk about for basketball and the NBA's image issue. But Sean, we talk, I don't know, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. Sometimes I feel like I'm bothering
not at all.
you.
I feel the same way though. Sometimes I got something that I know that I can talk to you about, and you'll understand, and you'll go, yeah, I get that. So so like I appreciate it. So just so you know, I appreciate it, because I know there's probably not a lot of people out there that listen to my nonsense.
I don't even consider it nonsense, good sir. So I don't know a lot of people who love music as much as I do. You, sir, are one of those people. So the other day, I believe I sent you a song to listen to. Do you remember what that song was? And then you sent me a song to listen to.
Yeah.
You sent me, I believe it was George Clinton.
Not just knee deep.
It was Knee Deep by George Clinton.
Funkadelic, baby.
And Parliament-Funkadelics. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I wanted to tell you on camera, sir, how you have an outsized influence on how the rest of my week went.
Okay, then please explain.
Yeah, so you don't know this. While you're working, and I believe it was your wife's birthday,
Thank
happy
you, I appreciate
birthday
it.
to her. And all of these things you have going on in your personal life, I'm spiraling. I went down a rabbit hole of funk music because of you,
Man.
sir.
I'm glad I could open that up for you.
Yeah, I mean, I know what funky is, because
Yeah,
it makes you make
right.
that stank
Like,
face, like, ew.
What were they thinking about? Like,
Ew.
really, how high were they when they came up with this guitar riff, or these beats that they put together that we know so well? Like, what were they doing?
What were they doing? So this is my point of what you said to me, sent me down the rabbit hole. And so I went to sleep going, where did this music originate from? Because it came from like soul and R&B, which was really heavy in the 60s. And then it turned into funk somewhere in the late 60s, right in the 70s, right? And then full on funk and psychedelic funk later. So then I went down, I'm asking, my bot, I'm like, who's really the architect of that funk music? Bot says James Brown, right? Which we all expected. So James Brown, I went listening to his stuff, Papa Don't Take No Mess. And you're just like, yo, like they were on another level. And then George Clinton obviously picked it up with Bootsy Collins, who was a guitarist for James Brown. And Bootsy Collins was literally saying, and then obviously leading to Sly and the Family Stone, Bootsy Collins was saying that the funk exists between the beat on the bass guitar.
Say that again for the people in the back.
He said the funk existed in between the beat on the bass guitar. So it was like, he said it was like, before it was like boom, 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 boom. And then Bootsy said it was boom, 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 boom,
Oh, man, that's a little insight to what they were thinking. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so and then the slap bass in lieu of a drummer came with Sly and the Family Stone's guitarists. And so those methods just kind of spread like virus into the music industry, and it just took over in that late 60s, 70s, and it just became like this psychedelic soul funk P-funk thing that we know today, which became the bedrock of hip hop music. So I wanted to tell you, sir, You sending me that song sent me into an absolute
Oh
graveyard
my
of
goodness.
funk.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate I was able to do that for you. But really, for me, I'll keep it a buck with you. It's just music that made me feel good. Growing up listening to, I always say this to you too. We never at that age we never really understood the music. We just it's music that our parents played or we heard around the neighborhood, and you never really you never really understood it. And then as you got older, you go, wow. This is just so the song I sent you, Knee Deep, is it's a total vibe. They're just saying he's basically saying the same thing. If you listen to it, it's really no nothing in deep about the song other than the music. And the chant. It's a vibe to it. Not something about the music got into my head. That's what it is. That song.
Yeah,
And that's what
yeah, yeah.
and that's what it did for me. It was like I could listen, and I don't know if a lot of people know. People who know music know you didn't even know this. There's a 5-minute version of that song and a 15-minute
Preach. Go ahead and tell 'em.
15-minute version. So you can literally listen to this song for 15 minutes, and if you like music like we do, it'll just it engulfs you because that music I can listen to that driving home from work, and it's incredible.
Don't just blow by that because you sent me the song and I'm like, I
Right,
know this song. You're like, no, there's a
right.
15-minute version. And I was like, okay, because everyone knows that song. Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun, 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 right. And you sent me the 15-minute version, and that's when my head just got
right,
plastered
right,
back.
right, man. It's just because it's a like I said, it's a wonderful song. I mean, there's so many different songs like that, and it that music probably it may have birthed like Rick James. Rick James kind of got into that punk funk sound, and just a lot of different
Yeah.
artists out there that have done that. So it's amazing, man. I'm glad I could do that for you though, because like it's just music that I like, and that sometimes I'll listen to,
Yeah.
and like I said before, I'll listen to it, and I listened to it when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I kind of understand the meaning, the vibe, how it's supposed to make you feel. And then it's crazy because I'm like, man, I wonder if my parents felt like this listening to this song, or older generation. How did they feel when it
When it
came
came out.
out? Maybe it was the way we felt
When
when,
it came out.
like, I could say when The Chronic came out, Dr. Dre, or when
Which heavily sampled from
there you
George
go.
Clinton
You,
and
you see my
Parliament.
transition there. So, so you know what I
Yeah.
mean. So when that first came out, I
Yeah.
was like, man. So now I understand why I liked it so much, because that music was embedded in me already. So
Yeah, so what you sent me was really like the head of an octopus, because once I had that, the tentacles started reaching out everywhere else. These are all bands that I knew before but didn't listen with the intent of listening to that bass guitar and
sure.
that drum, which will lead you eventually to Funky Drummer by James Brown. James Brown's drummer, I think it was Butterfield. Somebody will correct me, I'm sure. He's the one that came up with that beat riff that lots of hip hop artists use to this day. That one song, The Funky Drummer, has over
Oh my
2,000
God,
samples.
that's incredible.
That one song by James Brown,
Oh my
2,000
goodness.
samples.
I mean, well, James Brown's incredible, by the way. So we all know the legend, the Godfather of Soul. But I think there's one album in a very popular artist that we all know, Public Enemy. I think they sampled pretty much most of James Brown's recordings in their album, and one of the
Yeah,
greatest albums ever. The Public Enemy. They've had a few. Yeah,
Fear
Fear
of
of Black.
Black
Yeah,
Planet.
absolutely. So, I mean,
Yeah.
man, shout out to that genre of music. It's incredible, and it keeps on giving. And I honestly, I wish a lot of the younger generation would tap back into that. With every think about it, they were doing this and sampling music just with basic instruments, basic tools, basic things that people in music know. Now that things have become more electronic
Electronic.
and they've become more advanced, just think of the kind of music you could put out there, being able to go back and sample that, and then with the technology that's out now, I think it would be incredible. So I wish the younger musicians would tap, if they haven't already, tapped into it.
Guys, we, aside from the funk, we're gonna bring the funk today, talking about talking about the NBA's image issue. The NBA and its commissioner have issued statements clearly rebuking load management and tanking. Adam Silver doesn't like it. He feels like it's bad for the game. Also bad for the guests of the game, which are us, the viewers. So I wanted to talk a bit about that, how the NBA really has an image issue here. Some of us think that load management is worse than tanking. Others think that tanking is worse than load management. Let's address the first, load management. Sean, what's going on and why is it affecting the game so negatively in the NBA
Well,
right now?
just to give people context, load management started some years back. I think I don't know if it's actually started with this team, but I'll give them credit. Coach Popovich with the Spurs kind of started this with the Tim Duncan era. These guys were playing a lot of games, playing into June, winning championships. So as the season went on, he picked certain games.
That's an
Yes.
important piece, Sean. Please say it again.
Yeah,
That's the
basically
important
they
piece.
were playing into June, playing a lot of games, and Coach Popovich would select games to give his guys some rest during a long 82-game season so they can prepare for the playoffs, which, makes sense. But I think what happened is the owners and, general managers, I think they took it, I think they've taken it too far now, and they're picking games to do this load management, to sit players out. I mean, I think there was a Laker game. I'm a big Laker fan, as you guys know, but it was a Laker game where they sat out. I think everybody sat out against OKC, which is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
you don't do that. That's the defending champs, and so you don't do that. So that's what load management. I don't like it from a standpoint of when you're on the road and you only go to Eastern Conference cities pretty much once a year, right? If you're coming from the West, likewise, east to the West. So, when you're a team that's flying out east and you're going to play, that those people on the East Coast, like I said, they only get that one opportunity once a year to see you live. Now, if you're hurt, that's one thing. That's fine. If you're hurt, you're injured, you can't play, great. But, okay, you've been on a long road trip, but here's a great city, you know what I mean? You got to play. Because somebody like, a lot of the older players, I think Michael Jordan said it, Kobe Bryant said it, some kid or some family has saved up so much money to come watch you play. And so they get there and you're not playing. It's such a letdown because they wanted to see you play. So I understand it, but I don't like it. I think if you're going to do it, as far as load manage, home games, I'm a little more tolerable. I think road games, they should never do it unless they're actually injured. Home games, okay, I'm a little more tolerable, but I don't think you should do it either. So that's my thing. Sure.
And let me jump in here. I'm a lot less tolerable than your
Absolutely.
tone.
Understandable.
And the reason being is because there's enough empirical evidence that prove otherwise. The thing that you said earlier, which was the crux point, is that Popovich and the Spurs used load management because they were continually competing for championships. And so they found spots to where if they rested a player at a particular time in the season, they could find a 4 or 5 day window for them to get rest, which I felt was strategic because they know they're going to make a push into June. Okay. Some of these teams, and I almost started yelling. Oh, snap.
I'm a little upset about it. I get it, and I understand.
Yeah. Some of these teams are resting players, and they know they're not going to be competing for a championship.
See, I'm not tolerable about that. Just to be clear, so I'm not tolerable about that.
Yes, like you're resting your stars, bro. You're never going to make it to the Eastern or Western Conference final. It's not even in your cards, much less an NBA championship. Why are you resting these guys? That's part A, okay? Part B is the data with what we know with health, wellness, and fitness has definitely improved since 1970s, 1980s, even the 90s. We have better tech. We have better gear. Our shoes have air, helium, moon rocks in them. We have We have so many things that are supposed to be making the athlete journey better, yet and still you're telling me that these players can't play these particular minutes. Now, somebody's going to put in the comments, well, they're running around more on the court. Fine. They're also taking less damage because you can't take the hits that you used to in the 90s. You can't even hit players like that anymore. Okay. So even if you're running more miles, you're not taking more physical abuse. Allen Iverson had to get scraped off the court every single game. John Stockton was getting beat up every single game. Those guys played more time. They played more games. I think John Stockton has 8 or 9 years straight where he gave you 82 games. So miss me with the idea that these players need more rest while ... making more money. And that's the part that grinds my gears.
And I understand that, but that speaks to another issue. If you'll let me elaborate on that speaks to the issue of what the players are doing in the offseason. And I heard this somewhere else. I can't quote. Maybe somebody in the comments could bring it up. But the way players did in the 80s and even the 90s, off-season basketball, there wasn't so much training. You know, there was weights, there was shooting, and then there was actually playing basketball. So guys in the off season, I mean, think about it. You know, the historic runs we used to have at 24 Hour Fitness. Shout out to 24 Hour Fitness in Henderson. We had ex-NBA players, current NBA players runs. Come in and run with us on Saturday morning, and it's basketball. It's competitive. We're playing our hearts out because we're not professional. You know, at least I didn't play professional, but we're out there trying to, you know, hey man, that's so and so. You know, let's go. You know, let's show them who can play. They come in there, they're playing. You don't see that nowadays. So guess what? Even though they have all this technology, they're lifting weights. They've got a trainer 24/7. Their diet is better. They're not actually doing the movement that they're going to do in the game. Hence, that's why you have more soft tissue injuries. So I'll give you a prime example. Russell Westbrook. Westbrook.
Yeah,
okay, I love
Russell
him.
Westbrook.
Have you ever heard about him having a lot of injuries in his storied career?
All of them have been the cause of something. They're all been contact injuries.
So there you go. The reason being, if you can go on socials and you see him in the summer. I think there's a gentleman, and I'll shout him out, Rico Hines. I think he has runs where he's got pro players actually playing basketball. And so Westbrook is a big part of that. He runs, he plays games in the offseason. And I'm not saying he's every day. I don't know how often he does, but he's actually doing that. And so players, in my opinion, that do that actually play basketball and pick up basketball in the offseason, like Magic Johnson used to do. I know he did it. I know John Stockton did it up in Gonzaga. There's stories about him in the gym with college guys. You know, there's these stories of the older generation. They played in a much more physical league, and they played 78 to 82 games a year, every year. Why is that?
No, Sean, you know, everything you're saying is money, right? What I'm the crux of where I'm getting, and all of your points are valid. Mm-hmm. I'm not just criticizing load management for load management's sake. What I'm saying is that as a fan, you're losing me. The NBA had to put a poster boy of who their fan is. I'm it.
Right.
I'm it. I've had league pass. I've been to games. I have favorite players. You and I banter about it. I have a podcast about sports and culture. Like, I'm the fan. What I'm saying is it's like a slow decay of...
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me finish the thought. A slow decay of the beauty of the brand, because even me, I've seen my Warriors were playing the other day. There's no Jimmy Butler. There's no Steph Curry. I said, why bother? I didn't even tune in.
But like I said, I was going to get around to my point. That's why it's a bigger issue than just the owners saying, okay, or the GMs picking these games. That's part of the issue, because here's the thing. These guys are training a different way. So they come into, and you think they're ready. You think they're in shape. Now they're getting these soft tissue injuries. And then even then, they're like, okay, well, to prevent that, because I want my players playing, I'm going to give them rest. The GMs, and then the GMs are looking at it, okay, we got more injuries, so we got to figure something out. So they're doing that. And then, so now they're saying, okay, well, hey, they're telling the coaches, okay, guys, give these guys some days off because we want them playing. We want them playing later on. And like I said, I really don't understand the guys that are not going to the playoffs or have no chance. They need to play every day. But the guys that
we're resting LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball hasn't touched a playoff game since his feet had 10 toes on him.
But therein lies my point. It's like it's all a bigger problem. The GMs are trying to keep their jobs. The coaches are trying to keep their jobs. So they got to figure out a way to put the best product on the floor more times than not. And so that's where this load management comes in. I think it took on a whole new life from what Popovich did. Like if you do if the coaches just did what Popovich was doing, that's fine. I understood it. It's near.
Yeah.
He did a lot of times.
Yeah.
He did it towards the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? To get ready for the playoffs.
Or strategically
Exactly.
through the season to find a nice block.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they played, 4 games in 5 nights, whatever. He'd find a game in there where he'd rest. And he wouldn't rest everybody. So Tim Duncan would rest, but Tony Parker would. Next game, Tony Parker would rest. You know what I mean? And Tim Duncan would be playing, Ginobili. So he did it strategically. I don't think I've never seen him have 3 of his main players out at the same time. It was usually just maybe 1, maybe 2. But now they're doing this now, and it's unfortunate. It is taken away from the game. I don't watch as many games either. So you're right.
It does take away from the game, and it leads us to our next topic, which is the tanking issue.
So that's another thing. So
right? Right. So this is load management is its own monster. The tanking issue starts to take place because now teams are vying for AJ Dybantsa, from St. Joseph.
No.
I believe,
he's by BYU.
Whatever college he goes.
BYU.
He's an incredible player. He played last night.
Almost
Went
double
nuts.
last night. Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm watching. I'm like, you guys are you guys tanking in January?
Right.
Like, what?
Right. I mean, you've got.
I think it was pre-All-Star break.
And you've got. Yeah.
Hold on, Sean. They got fined. I think they got fined $500,000. The Utah Jazz got fined for conduct unbecoming. And some other people got some harsh words from the commissioner. Your product, as you said brilliantly, the product you're putting on the floor still has to warrant you buying a ticket or continuing your streaming service as the way the NBA is currently put up. I want to know your thoughts on this tanking thing after load management.
So, like I said, it all ties together. So you got the load management because you want to try to put the best product on the floor at the times you want to make sure the players are available and healthy and not get those soft tissue or even those major, out for season type injuries. So then tanking is involved. Now you're like, okay, I'm not going anywhere. A la Utah Jazz aren't going anywhere. A la Indiana Pacers aren't going anywhere. Teams like that. So, right? So now you see this good crop of kids coming out of college. You got A.J. Dybantsa. You've got Darryn Peterson. You've got Caleb Wilson. You've got a host of other guys coming out of college. Oh, Cameron Boozer. These guys are going to be coming out. Those are your top 4 or 5 picks in the draft. So as a franchise, and I tell you this all the time, I say we're living in a microwave society, right? No teams they don't want to put it in the oven and bake it. They want to zap it and it's done in 30 minutes. And what I mean by that, yes,
high in sodium.
Exactly.
High in sodium
so
is what you mean.
What they want to do is, all right, well, we don't have a chance this year. We're going to tank. We can get this generational talent and put some pieces around them and turn our season around. Because if they don't, guess what? That GM is fired. Guess what? And I'm saying, I know you disagree. I get it. But that's the whole reason. I'm just giving you my take on why.
Look at me.
I'm giving you my reason, and that's why.
No, I know. I'm not even upset at you, dog. I'm just like, I'm frustrated because you make a good point. Self-preservation is hardwired into our reptilian brains, right? So it's going to be there. You want to keep your job. You want to keep your position. You want to keep your salary. We saw what happened to old boy from Dallas, Rico. He traded Luka. Then Nico Hines. I'm sorry, Nico Harris. He made the trade, lost Luka. Then they end up losing the other star, and now Kyrie's not coming back. But it's like, well, which makes sense. Why would you play Kyrie Irving it makes no sense. So of course you're going to shut him down for the rest of the season. It makes no sense. So, vying for draft picks is your only chance of creating some sort of winning future for your franchise. But at the same time, player development is also part of it, right? We've seen players who went from average to interstellar. My guy here for the Portland Trailblazers, he went from being very average to an all-star, right? So player development is a part of it as well. I think just hoping on draft picks to save your team is not the way forward.
I agree, but okay, player development takes what? Time. And these guys They don't feel like they have the time, Saif. I mean, seriously, this is what I'm talking about. They don't feel like they have the time to do it. So they're like, okay, well, we gotta strike it rich. It's like, okay, you're not getting a Victor Wembanyama every year. So, but everybody's vying to find that one player that can be transcendent and build that team. And so, like I said, they're on the microwave time, not the oven time. And that's what they want to do. And it's unfortunate because we're getting a bad product.
Hold on, Sean. Hold the duck on. They're on the
Instead
microwave
of the oven
time,
time.
not the
Yes.
oven time. Somebody need to put that on a t-shirt, sir.
But that's society in general. I mean, we can go down the rabbit hole on that, and maybe we'll do that in the beginning of the next session. But seriously, it's everything is, we got to go now. Everything is the 11th hour. So every team wants that, and they want to be able to get that transcendent generational talent. And let's be honest, the players that are coming out in the draft, great players, but I don't know if they're generational talents like that. They could be, but I don't know.
Generational
It's
talent is
overused.
overused. Great player versus LeBron James, Victor Wembanyama,
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. Generational talents.
Right.
Okay. Great players, they come and go.
Exactly.
Right. And anything can happen in between. I believe, who was the MVP last year? It was Shea Gilgeous, right? SGA?
Yeah, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah.
He was wasn't he
Yes,
with
he
the
was.
Clippers?
Yes, he was.
Okay. So if we talk about player development, had the Clippers had any foresight, he would have been right there to lead the future of the Clipper organization.
Yes, he would have. But guess what? They were on microwave time. And they were like, they got rid of all of think about it. They went on microwave time, got rid of all their draft picks, which included Shea Gilgeous, to get, who did they get? What did they get, Kawhi?
I don't even remember.
I think they got Paul George in that deal. I think it was Kawhi was going there, and they got Paul George. So now
Bro, slow down. They traded the MVP
right, but they didn't.
away before he was an
They were on
MVP.
microwave time. They didn't know. They put it in the microwave, and it wasn't done yet.
That's like dating Paula Patton in high school, and you didn't wait for her to get her braces off, or for her to hit her growth spurt, or for her to become good at acting.
Yeah.
Nah, dog. There's better chicks than her.
That's exactly right. Again, it's just like, think about it. You put a plate of food in the microwave, right? You heat it up for 30 seconds, 45 seconds. The whole plate of food is not hot. And how many times have you done that? You put the whole plate of food's not hot. My chicken feels hot.
You got to stir it after you stab
the vegetables. They're kind of it's not hot. So that's what they did. They're like, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out, do something different. So that's what they did. That's what the Clippers did. And Clippers haven't sniffed the championship. But guess what? OKC, with all those draft picks, got those players. Shea Gilgeous. They got Jalen Williams, Isaiah Joe, Chet Holmgren, the other Jalen Williams. They put together Lou Dort. They put together a great team.
Lou Dort.
So they got all these players, all these picks, and they put together a winning squad, and they won a title, and they got a chance to win it again this year. So, but they were on oven time. Sam Presti was like, I'm on oven time. I'm gonna let this thing bake. I'm gonna have the perfect souffle. And guess what?
And great point, because no one was checking for them. No one cared that Oklahoma City, after KD and everyone left, everyone kind of forgot about OKC, and they were allowed to bake, which is a great point that you made. I look at it like some organizations are really big on microwave time, but the organizations, my Warriors, that did it right through drafting Clay and Draymond and Steph and allowing those players to develop. I mean, remember, there was trade talks about moving Steph when he had all those ankle problems from the Warriors, right? But they stuck with it, and it paid off. It paid off to the amount of 4 championship rings. So it takes time to bake.
But listen, now they're at a crossroads, right? So now you've got this aging superstar, and you got another aging star in Draymond. So you don't have the pieces. Jimmy Butler's out for the season. So now, and you couldn't make the moves at the trade deadline. You got Porzingis, which I don't understand that, but okay, they did it. So now what do? Now you're at a crossroads. So are you trading away a lot of your youth and young picks to get a Giannis in the offseason? Or what are you doing? We got four perfect meals out of it. We got 4 championships. Now we gotta keep up with everybody else. What are we doing? Are we gonna get on the microwave time, start trading pieces away so we could put something together, get some generational talent like Giannis, and but trade all of our youth away? What do you do?
Yeah, Sean, there's a concept that I like. I said it on social, and somebody flamed me for it, but he's an idiot, so that's just what
Right.
it is. There's a thing called winner's tax, and I think MJ said it. There's a cost to winning, and if you compete at a high level as an organization for an extended amount of time, there's going to be a cost for that, and the cost usually looks like aging superstars. When do you get rid of them? Taking some L's, looking old and winded, and we saw that with the Celtics. I'm talking about Larry Bird's Celtics. We saw that with the Lakers after Magic retired for a bit, after Houston won a couple of chips. Those things happen. So I'm not too upset about that because I understand that's the natural nature of things. Natural nature of things? Who says that? That's the nature of things.
Order, I think is what it meant. Natural order of things.
Natural order. Thank you. Redundancy. My high school teacher would have slit my throat. But my point is, those things happen. So when we look back, as we're running out of time here, as we look back at tanking and load management, it's really a way for teams to try to stay relevant for the future, but there's a cost of now that's paid, and the person viewing, which is us, the fan base, are the ones who's paying the cost. Your final words.
You're absolutely right. I think the tanking and load management, honestly, they go hand in hand, because I think most franchises want to toe the line, right? They want to be relevant and put together a good product, because guess what? Fans are paying your salaries. You're trying to get butts in the seats. You're trying to get them in, you're trying to get season ticket holders to re-up, if you will. So you have to toe the line. You can't just be a crap product, all this time and then not get the draft picks. You have to kind of toe the line and try to be both. Put something out on the floor that fans are going to want to come see, and then also build for the future, so that now you got those fans that they're paying the tickets, they're coming, and now you give them something, say, hey, this was actually absolutely worth it. Because if you don't do that, guess what? You lose them. So.
Yeah, I forgot to mention Chicago after MJ retired and Pippen left. How bad they were. I mean, hell, Chicago still hasn't been in an NBA final since they left. Guys, this was episode 15 of the Beat the Best podcast. We're going to stay here. I get every now and again, Sean, I get comments that obviously say how great you've been, and other comments that say, hey, guys, keep going, which is great, from one or two people, which feels really good because our subscribers aren't there yet. So it gives me just enough power for us to keep going. Remember to like and subscribe. Tell your friends, especially tell your enemies about us, because we're always going to be here. Sean, anything before we're on the way out?
I just want to say thank you guys for the small few that have been tuning in. And I want to thank everyone for their comments, good and bad or indifferent. Because I don't take it personally. Saif definitely doesn't take it personally. We're just here, trying to spread our knowledge, the things that we know. Like, subscribe, and join us. And because we're going to keep this train rolling, whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not. I love the hateful comments. Please bring them.
Absolutely.
Somebody killed me about my hairline. I'm like, at my age, I still have hair, Playboy.
You can still grow hair. That's
I don't
that's
care
incredible.
about what you have to say.
Right.
Still, this is all my hair. All right, guys. We will see you next week. For Sean, this is BetaMax84, and we will catch you on the flip side.
Peace.